Hello and welcome. Today we will be looking at Scotland's Six Nations chances, running you through the squad, injury updates, and in general what this group of fine young men should achieve in the next 7 weeks across 5 games. With the current head coach Gregor Toonie Townsend at the helm for over 7 years, experience flows from the top down throughout the squad. Starting this weekend, hosting previously perennial whipping boys Italy at Murrayfield, a sterner challenge awaits co-captains Finn Russell and Rory Darge at the head of their yet-to-be-selected team than in earlier tournaments. Having beaten Scotland last year, Gonzalo's Quezada's team will travel from Rome filled with a desire to show that there is progress for the Azzurri. Their hosts will meet them with ferocity and courage to show that there is iron and thorns under all of that thistle and tartan exterior. A strong win for Scotland would set them up with that all-important momentum and the confidence it brings to face Ireland next weekend in Edinburgh, who, whatever the outcome, will bring a sterner, grittier challenge than this weekend. By no means will this be an easy match, but it is one Scotland should face and win. I'm James, and this is Rugby Chat. Now, we all know the biggest news coming out of the Scotland camp was the previous captain, Tuipulotu, pulling out the pectoral injury. Big player both on and off the pitch for Scotland, leadership all around, hard carrier, great all-round player. Not just hitting people in attack and defence, but able to step them, keep his hands free and set up the next move. Immense for Glasgow, immense for Scotland as well. He will be missed, but it's an opportunity for someone else to step in. Someone like Stafford McDowell. Played a lot of minutes for Glasgow in the URC last year. Just about all of them, up until, I think it was the semi-final, hand injury. Missed out, but just a big part of that squad as well. He could step in inside Hugh Jones. They play together, they know each other well. Plenty of other centre options out there as well. Could we even see a return for Chris Harris? Rotated in and out of Gloucester, able to keep his fitness up that way, so he's sharp but not worn out. Could he step in? Well, sort of possibility. So moving on from Tuipulotu, as we've got to do, we've got Finn, Russell, obviously, and we've got Rory Darge as co-captains. We've got forward in Darge, back in Finn. So 2 captains, 2 different parts of the pitch. Bit unusual, but it's worked in the past. It could work again. They seem to have a good working relationship, get on well together. It's just about making the right calls at the right time. There's experience flowing throughout the team. You'll have the Fergusons on. They've got over 50 caps each. You've got Blair Kinghorn playing, the rugby of his life down at Toulouse. Yeah, there's leadership all over the park. Hugh Jones in the centre, he's been there, done that. You could easily have Ben White, just a solid presence at 9. There's players all around. So it's just a case of making the right decision at the right time as captain. It's having those leaders around, taking the pressure off. In amongst all of that experience, there are some young guys in the squad, or inexperienced with few international caps. Could they make a start? It would be exciting to see them. You've got to freshen up the team as well. Give players who are coming into good form that opportunity so they know that it's worth pressing to get that Scotland jersey, to get their first cap, to get more than one cap, to keep pushing so that they can be the ones out there time and time again. Everyone's talking about Jack Mann, excellent player for Glasgow, moved across from Edinburgh, a couple of torrid years of injury since he joined Glasgow, so he was out for the best part of 2 years. Started in 2022. He's had 7 games from Glasgow. He's got himself fit, and he's straight into the Scotland squad. 6'4", 115 kilograms. Sort of player Scotland don't have many of. Just that size, that natural bulk, that natural ability just to go at things. After all of that injury time off the bench, he could easily have that just freshness just to really give a good burst of energy. It'll be exciting to see. Another one like that, Marshall Sykes, someone else. Scotland don't have a natural size like that, 6'7", 121 kilograms. Someone else just to get in there is a big boy, let's be honest, and just do some hard work. Jamie Dobie from Glasgow, so is naturally a scrum half, but he's played a lot of wing. There's been injuries in that position for Glasgow, so he's stepped up, used his pace out wide, used his relative size for a scrum half, 5'10", 81 kilograms, just to get, make sure that Glasgow are in the best position they can be. Kind of mentioning him as a young guy, because he is young, 23, but he already has, quite a few caps for Scotland, 80 caps for Glasgow too. His ability to, so quite a few Scotland caps, 9 caps, 9 more than I have, or ever will, so nothing to be looking down on, but as a scrum half, you'd probably expect more. But 23 years old, nothing to be, looking down your nose at. The option to play on the wing as well, could that open it up to a 6-2 split on the bench if needed? You could have someone like Tom Jordan on there, able to cover your centre, your fullback, your fly half as well. That could give the option just to bring 6 fresh forwards on, just make up for that perhaps lack of pure bulk that Scotland have. You're coming up later in the tournament against the French guys, 130, 140, 150 kilograms. Maybe you just need that freshness just to keep running them around, playing at a high tempo. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Moving on to the more experienced players coming back. Finn, great form at Bath. Co-captain, just seems settled. Hopefully Tooney just lets him run, sets a sort of structure, and just says, not play what you see, but these are what the guys can do, these are the calls, all the rest of it, and just go out there and put everyone in the best position to score tries, score points, win the matches, win the tournament. Because that's what the aim should be, that's what they will all be aiming for, not to finish lower down as they have, 4th, 3rd, but to push, make sure they're in 2nd, give themselves a shot at the title. Darcy Graham, coming back from injury, lucky enough to see him against Black Lion in Edinburgh a couple of weeks ago, looked very sharp, even against a team that was, if we're honest, a standard below, but you play who you play. He was just all over the place, beating defenders for fun, not shirking anything, just tough guy. Took a big tackle from one of the Georgian backs, I think it was. Could have been a forward from the size of him. Doubled up. I'm sure there's a lot of rugby players do at that level. Just wind absolutely knocked out of him. Got up, just got back into it. Which, when he is my height, mid 5 feet, that's a hard thing to do. He should step back into the squad, do what he does, just getting the ball, dancing around people, just sprinting up and just being a nuisance for the defenders in a good way, just getting there, making sure he's on the end of things. He's got that really short dancing footwork that kind of like Colby Arenze. Always vying with Duan to get that try scoring record. So interesting to see who comes out on top of that. Moving on to the forwards a bit more again, you've got the Ferguson brothers, Matt and Xander. Got to talk about a line here. Xander's got to be thinking, that 3's mine. Went on the Lions tour in 2021. He's got to be thinking, right, I want on that again. I want that starting shirt. So, big tournament for him. Big tournament for younger brother Matt. Definitely not saying smaller brother, because they're both enormous. Both very experienced. Matt's 26, 50 caps for Scotland, 38 starts. Experience is flowing through there. If they're not going to step up to that next level now, you'd have to say maybe they've reached plateau. But given Matt's performance in the URC final against the Bulls, in the High Veld in South Africa, what was it, 8 months ago, 9 months ago? He's ready to do that. So you're probably a bit deaf there. Just his play that day was just all over the place. Hard in defence, hard in attack, making those tight carries, getting in the wider channel, nuisance at rucks as well. Just watch, not so much winning it, but the ruck will be there just about basically won by the opposition. And he'll just have a little dig, a little bit of a counter ruck. 99 times it's not going to work. That one time it'll just disrupt it a little. We all know Xander, 70 caps for Scotland, maturing his temperament around the park, maturing as a scrummager. Just an enormous engine, especially for the position he's in. Just goals and goals all day. Same as his brother. Hard carries around the rucks. Hard carries out wide. Delicate little hands at times as well. Just make sure that he doesn't get done by the opposition loose heads. Make sure that Scotland's scrum is good and strong. I think a lot of the good line-out work from Glasgow that then carries through to Scotland is because of them as well. That's strong in the air, and it'll be good around the maul as well. And then you come on to new guy, Alex Masibaka, coming up from Pro D2. Exciting. Enormous guy again. 6 foot over that, 115 kilos at least. Just full of energy. Go watch his clips. It's go watch a Pro D2 match on, wherever you can. It's great rugby. He's just energetic, always looking to carry, looking to get those quick taps from penalties, just grabbing the ball instead of the 9, looking to do it, looking to go, just upping that tempo. So, especially against the bigger teams, that will really, if he gets the chance, work to Scotland's favour, just keeping everyone moving, making sure people don't get that chance to breathe when they're, 10, 20 kilograms heavier than the Scottish guys. Just exciting to see him there. Someone that Scotland don't have a lot, players that Scotland don't have a lot of. So it'll be an exciting tournament overall. I think good depth in the squad. Yeah, there's injuries and you're disappointed. That always happens. You have players coming back, players stepping up. So I said at the beginning, Gregor Townsend's been in the role for 7 years now. He's helped them get England's number, but can he take that step up? Can he get a good solid win against Italy on the first day? Make sure you get the win. Make sure you get the extra bonus point for the 4 tries. Make sure that there's nothing ever in doubt. Come through that. Have Ireland the next week. Make sure that you're competitive against them at the very least. Ideally win. If you can do that, do those 2 games at home, then you've got the week, and you've got England away at Twickenham. Recently, that's been like, England, Scotland. Well, Finn's been all over them since that draw match, just pick his corners, pick his passes, run them around. Scotland win. But I don't think it'll be that easy this time. I think England are starting to change a bit. Chandler Cunningham-South in the Harlequins game against Glasgow, he was an absolute nuisance. Everywhere, just big hard carries, annoying in the tackles. Sort of player that England need to take on Scotland in that game. So the Twickenham game, I could see that going to England, as much as it pains me to say. The Ireland one, again, Ireland are probably favourites, but a good chance. Wales after, we all know, Wales are a mess. So Gatland's having his last roll of the dice with this squad, maybe. Maybe he's being the genius that we kind of know him to be from the past, and he's just found some absolute gems that we haven't recognised. We won't know, but it doesn't look good. Typically, Wales-Scotland would have been a hard, niggly match. Maybe it still will be. We'll know in a few weeks. But I would expect that to be a Welsh loss, Scotland win. So I'm probably thinking 2 out of 4. Good chance for going 3 out of 4. You could be Ireland again. And then you've got France away Saturday night. Paris in the dark, 9 o'clock local kickoff, 8 o'clock our time. What a way to end the tournament. You'll have Dupont, you'll have Intamac, you'll have all the rest of them. The massive French pack, enormous. I was talking about earlier about keeping the tempo up, keeping them moving. Potentially using that 6-2 split just to throw on fresh legs and keep it all going. There's a chance, as there always is because it's a fresh tournament, but it seems good this year. There's a quiet confidence about the players that hasn't been there. But it'll be exciting anyway. I'm looking forward to this weekend. expecting a Scotland win, but as we saw last year and in previous years, Italy are nothing to be smirked at, nothing to be looked down on. They'll bring a hard game, they'll bring a hard team. Be a tough afternoon, but I would expect 5 points to Scotland, but probably not the bonus point if it comes until later on in the second half. Maybe a little wobble in the middle, as it sometimes happens, but I'd expect them to be easily away from it.